Welcome to Fifth at Night, ladies and gentlemen. Very thought-provoking topic today. Individualism, freedom, or the collapse of community. And we're going to talk to our community, the Fifth at Night community. Let me big up my brother. He's been on the Mr. Z and Fifth podcast. He is a friend of the show, friend of the platform. Let me bring my brother up right now. Ray, what's going on, brother Ray?
Fifth, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir. Yes, I can. Can you hear me? There we go.
Yes, I can, sir. Great to finally be a panelist on this show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Oh, no problem. Let me bring up my brother, the Beyonder. Beyonder, are you there? Okay, my timing. All right, Angie, are you there? How you doing, Angie? Hello.
Hey.
Good evening, Angie.
Hey, Ray.
All right. I've been doing some troubleshooting for those who've had some issues on StreamYard, and basically to help things out, you want to, if you're on your phone, you want to put your notification on mute. You want to put your phone on vibrate so that it doesn't keep taking over the audio portion, okay? You want to put your phone on vibrate, put it on silent. If the appropriate browsers that you should be using is either Chrome or Safari. All right. If you're on PC or Mac, Chrome, Safari, make sure that your mic settings or the mic that you're speaking out of, and make sure the speaker settings or the speakers that you want the sound to come out of. All right. We have a very interesting show today. Let me see how everyone is doing. Let me check the temperature with y'all. Y'all good? Angie, you good? You tired?
Yeah, work week was rough.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, we're gonna amp up the set today. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so. Yes, yes.
Beyonder, are you there, Beyonder? Okay, I don't know what the brother's doing. Well, anyway, I'll get him back up here. Haven't heard from Zacchaeus, but Zacchaeus will be here shortly. He knows what's going on, so he should be up here. Meerkat will be up here a little later. Okay, she had a prior obligation that was going on at least within the first 30 minutes of the show. Looks like our brother has joined the chat. Zacchaeus, what up, brother?
Hey, what's good? Good to see you.
Zacchaeus.
See, our brother Ray is here today.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yes.
There
What's
you
up,
go.
man?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got a very interesting topic, man. So let's get into why I chose this topic. Everything that is around us, that surrounds us lately, is moving, especially in America, is moving out of the tradition of family culture. Mm-hmm. Everything is being pushed on us to do everything just by ourselves, for ourselves, and only to ourselves, that only benefit ourselves. I've never seen a community grow, thrive, and flourish with just individuals. It's impossible. Community has always been a foundation to not only families, but economics, faith, political systems,
Yes.
government, even just in terms of health and fitness.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You know, so many things that community, the benefits of community and what it thrives on is a togetherness.
Yes.
You know, but if everything is pushing us away from each other, and isolation is a way to sift people out in their vulnerabilities, because now you don't have any help. You have no backup. You have been isolated and excluded from everything that could help you in society, and that's not a good thing. And so, taking a break from the dating topic, we're gonna go into this, okay?
Definitely. Oh yeah.
So Beyond, are you there, Beyond, this time?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Hey,
you, brother.
It was good, man.
What's going on?
Hey, Angie.
Yeah,
what's
beyond
good?
What's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to cam up when you're ready, okay? You're probably doing something, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so when you're ready, I'm gonna definitely have you cam up. And like I said, for the advice for everyone on that, kids, you already know this because we do the show together on StreamYard. It's not a problem.
Oh yeah.
If you're on your phone or other mobile devices, you want to put your phone on vibrate. Okay, you want to mute your notifications so that the sound is not taking over. All right, you want to use the appropriate browsers, Chrome or Safari. Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that we've had some technical difficulties in the early parts of this show.
Yeah.
With certain users, and couldn't figure it out. But I was able to do some research and to figure out what the problem is and to finally get to the bottom of it. Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this show off with a clip that we're going to react to, and then I have questions that I'm going to propose to the panel. You know what I'm saying? So that we can really get into this. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull this up. And let's get to this. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going to play this and then we're going to give our response, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say that our generation nowadays is a lot more selfish. It's a lot more individualism. And the problem with that is that you can't build a community with a bunch of individuals. It's impossible to do that. So I think about this all the time because it's my channel is all about supporting Black-owned businesses so that we can build as a community together. But if everyone's like, well, I got to take care of myself, in order to build something strong and lasting within the community, you're going to have to take sacrifices. You're going to have to take a hit every now and then. Not saying take a hit all the time, because then that's pretty much yourself being abused.
Right.
But a lot of us are like, oh, I took one hit and I'm done with the whole thing. Like, no, wait till you see what can be built. Wait till you see the benefits that can come with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just takes time to get to that level, to get to that point.
All right. Well said.
Yeah.
Who wants to respond to that first?
I could
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man. The reason why a lot of us fail with businesses and fail with some of our endeavors because we practice individualism, right? We think we could do it by ourselves and keep secrets and just keep it exclusive to ourselves, and we don't learn to build as a community, and that's what's holding us back when we don't build and we don't trust each other. It's more like a competition, more like a this is why some of our businesses fail, and this is why we don't own certain things, because it's all this individualism, and this society pushed that a lot. That is for dolo, let me do self. There's entities out there that says divide and conquer. They don't want you to be, because if you build in numbers, that's power. That's too powerful. Too powerful. Listen, I can even share Black Wall Street way back then when they seen us building together as a community. What happened when they seen us building together in 1921? What happened? And they use wrenches to dismantle the whole community and dismantle us and say, okay, you could do this by yourself. You don't need nobody. You could build your own by yourself. You don't need individual. And we are made to be social beings. We need to build with each other and grow together and help each other out. That's what builds a community. That's what makes us thriving community and makes us own things and make us successful when we support each other. You can do it by yourself, but sometimes it's better when you have different entities helping you, so you can because sometimes some things you just don't know. Some things you just don't know. Some things you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, for example, you're trying to build a school. I don't want to mention his name, Dr. Umar Johnson. Anyway, You're trying to build a school, but yet I'm like, where is the if you're trying to build a school, don't you need like support from people that's been experienced, people that's been, you want to bring only this, have black people build it, but don't you want to have people that come to join you and build it? You can't do that by yourself. It's like you trying to open up a gym, like YMC by yourself. No, to open up a YMCA, you need a community. You need a community of people in the neighborhood to open up a YMCA. You can't do it by yourself. You can't open a school by yourself. So that's where that's my response to that video. Yeah.
I also in addition to what Zacchaeus just said, of course, it goes without saying it's a trust factor too.
Yeah.
It's like who can you trust like blood to the point where you're building something and you don't even have to question who your partner is, what the agenda is, what the mindset is, especially if you've had an open and honest communication thing between you two. So trust has a lot to do with it. I think fear has a lot to do with it. It's like the fear of who you can and can't trust. It can get the better of folks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the work starts from within, because I think that before you want to talk about community, opening something that'll benefit the community, you can't go into this broken or with a messed up mindset. So I think self-work has a lot to do with it before you even approach anything from a broader spectrum, whether it be community or otherwise. So I think you need to work on the fear factor and the trust factor. And I think that at least that's a good start before you talk about building.
I like that. Beyonda, you was able to, I'm going to play it again from Meerkat and Angie because Angie had audio issues. But Beyonda, you was able to get the idea of the video, right? And what he was talking about?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a response?
Yeah, I was going to respond to or add on to what Ray was saying. The trust factor thing. I think the trust factor, what we're missing is togetherness.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it takes extreme things to bring us together as a society. If you look at 9/11, after 9/11, I feel like people were, treated with respect, and there was like this neighborly love, and then after COVID happened, everything went back to what it was. No one trusts anybody. That's the problem. There's no trust, there's no togetherness, and we just got used to being, like we internalize everything. And even though I have neighbors, I see them every day. They're like strangers to me. No one talks to no one. So that's the problem.
That's a good point. I'm going to play the video again for Angie and Meerkat. Meerkat, I just want to know if you can hear us.
Yes, I hear y'all fine.
Okay, good. So once again, I like to give that tip out there for people. If you're on your phone through the through the StreamYard portal, like all of us are, right?
Yeah, I'm on the app.
Okay, you're on the app. Okay, good. So like I was saying in the message before, make sure your phone is on vibrate so that the notifications don't take over your sound. Make sure the appropriate browser you are using is either Chrome or Safari. Okay. Make sure your audio settings says that the mic that you're using is the mic that you're using, which would be the phone, and that the speakers are coming out of the phone speakers. Okay. All right. I'm going to play this clip again for everyone. Okay. All right.
I would definitely say that our generation nowadays is a lot more selfish. It's a lot more individualism. And the problem with that is that you can't build a community with a bunch of individuals. It's impossible to do that. So I think about this all the time because it's my channel is all about supporting Black-owned businesses so that we can build as a community together. But if everyone's like, well, I got to take care of myself, in order to build something strong and lasting within the community, you're going to have to take sacrifices. You're going to have to take a hit every now and then. Not saying take a hit all the time, because then that's pretty much yourself being abused.
Right.
But a lot of us are like, oh, I took one hit and I'm done with the whole thing. Like, no, wait till you see what can be built. Wait till you see the benefits that can come with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just takes time to get to that level, to get to that point.
All right, Angie, you there? All right, just make sure you unmute, okay?
Yes.
There you go.
I am here.
All right, you ready to give your response to that?
Yes. I believe that what he's saying is true. Like you can see less of a community.
Yeah.
I feel like once everybody started going digitally, once everybody started going digitally, like you could see, like when I was growing up, everybody used to be outside. People used to be in the parks. You know, you don't see that no more. You don't even see that with today's kids anymore. You hardly see parents take their kids to the park. And in terms of the isolation, for sure you see that. Especially I live in New York, so that individualism is very strong here. And people to the point where people are so desensitized and they will watch somebody else in danger and they won't do anything about it. So individualism is very strong here, but I feel like if we go back to being like a community and investing into our communities, we can reverse that and become better as a society.
Absolutely. Meerkat,
Hey,
what's your response to the video? What do you think? He touched on, selfishness and what individualism has taught, and just going away from community and just basically saying that no community has been able to thrive with just individuals. No community. Go ahead, Meerkat.
all that's true. All that is true. What he said
Yeah.
was true, and it's hard to bond with other people when they don't want to. They think you're up in their business or something. I don't know. But Angie's right too. It's I grew up in a small town. My high school class had 42 people in it. My graduating class. But anyway, we all knew each other. You know, our families knew each other, and but as small town USA doesn't always stay small. You know, it gradually increases, and with that, people move in, and you don't really know them. So you have to make an effort, either whether it's through church or school, parents with children, becoming more community minded. But I think in the bigger cities or whatever, it's more about me, people are afraid. We're driving, so that might be why it's a delay.
It's
But
okay.
it is hard. You can't. It's hard to build anything when it's just you. You're an island. We're not an island. We need each other. Our kids need each other. It takes a community sometimes to raise healthy kids. You ever had somebody's kids over and the parents wouldn't get on to them, but it's like, okay, you're at my house, I'm going to get on to you, and if mom don't like it or whatever, they can go home. But it takes a community to do really a lot of anything.
That is perfect. I do have a question. So we're going to get into these questions I got because I have several. What's the difference between healthy individuality and selfishness? Whoever wants to go first.
Healthy is where, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Meerkat. Go ahead.
Healthy individualism is you've got goals, you've got plans, you've got something you want to accomplish, and you are open and flexible or fluid with other people possibly coming in to help or assist or whatever. And you're not opposed to advice. You're not opposed to someone having input into what you're wanting to accomplish. And of course, selfish is, it's all about me. Don't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I'm all about me. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to say something. We've seen what it looks like whenever someone's like, look at the movie Castaway, right, with Tom Hanks, right? He was by himself for how many years in that movie? A while. So being by yourself and having only yourself, it's a hard thing to do. You start going crazy. So you need humans to get humans. We need each other. We need each other to survive. Because when you're by yourself, you go crazy, and you just like you're not a whole person. But when you like communicate and work together and whatnot, beauty thing beauty thing beauty can happen. So I'm on big on.
Balance is definitely important.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
balance.
Back. Absolutely. Anybody else want to use about to go, Ray? Go ahead to
Yeah,
the
no,
question.
that was it. I was just gonna
Okay.
say, balance is definitely important, and that's
Yeah.
why, when as far as healthy individuality, I think that when it's healthy, when all those factors and the ones we haven't, the positive ones we haven't mentioned are realized. I think that contributes to healthy individuality. And selfishness has a lot to do with arrogance and thinking you know it all, and that doesn't benefit self or anyone else.
Sometimes you can miss a lot of. Let's say if you're trying to build something, like you have a business, you're trying to build a business, right? And you don't know too much about it, but you say you're gonna do it yourself. You look at YouTube videos. You you look at certain things. You look and you just read up on it. But you know, by you being selfish, people that you connect with can help you cut corners, help you to build it quicker, to make more sales. There's tactics and strategies of people that are experienced, well experienced, that can help you along your journey. Because face it, when you do sometimes, not all the time, but when you do things alone, some sometimes you go the hard route. Why? Because I can do it myself. Now I don't need nobody else help. I can do things. I can build it myself, and then all you gotta do is reach out, and maybe connect with somebody that's experienced, maybe like a coach, and you'd be surprised to know how much elements you missed, how much key points you miss, how much strategies you miss, all because you took that leap of faith and say, "Okay, I'm gonna go out and do it." But you missed out because I can do me myself, and I can do it. I don't need the help. You're full of pride, full of pride, full of pride, and pride can make you lose out on a lot of key points and key factors in certain things you do. It's like, for example, now, water's running in your house, right? Let's say, for example, you have a pipe that's burst, and you say, I can fix it. I looked at a YouTube video, I can fix it, right? Now, instead of because you didn't humble yourself, you embarrass yourself, right? So you have and you're married, you're married, or you have a family that's there with you, and you say, I can fix it, I fix it. By you not reaching out and being cheap and not reaching out, you know what you did? You just caused more damage. And what is a serious thing? If you don't know what you're doing, you can cause major damages in the place of rest, right? So because you didn't reach out and you see, I can do it myself, I can do it myself. I don't need a plumber. I don't need water's all over your house, and now you got to pay more money, more expense, and you look like a fool. You look crazy. Now people looking at you like, all you got to do is reach out. Now you got to spend more money. Now you got to fetch for more money because you were full of pride, and you was warned to fix that. But what the Bible says, warning comes before destruction, right? You've decided to jump leap and say you can do it yourself, and it causes more of a catastrophe than anything else because you didn't humble yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. Angie, the question, what's the difference between healthy individuality and selfishness? What you think, Angie?
Before I get into what I think that it's also healthy to be selfish as well. Sometimes being selfish is like a form of self-care. But the difference between healthy individuality and selfishness is like when you're selfish, you're really not thinking about the other person. You don't care about what it costs the other person. You really only care about what you have to gain from the situation. And healthy individuality, you could stand on your own, you know, but like what Zacchaeus said, like, you know, you're not afraid to ask for help or lean on others and your community. I feel like where you can also be a healthy individual and selfish at the same time as well. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
So I have to kind of, let's unpack what you just said, because healthy individuality would be things that you may have to do on your own, but that's not selfishness. As where selfishness that you just mentioned is there's something that everybody else needs, or you're not the one in need, but you're selfish, so you're going to take it anyway. So that would be selfish, right? Case in point, everybody on this panel, except for me, ate, right? They got their plate first. No, I'm sorry. Everybody else got their no. Everybody else didn't get to eat but me, right? Right? And then instead of me saying, "Oh, I got food for y'all," I lie and I say we ran out of food, and then I just kept it in the fridge the whole time. That's selfishness. Individuality is I'm a single adult, so I have to take care of myself because all I have is myself. That's healthy individuality. So when you say be selfish and have healthy individuality at the same time, can you give me an example, Angie, of when being selfish is healthy?
Calling off from work.
Okay.
Calling off from work, canceling plans, taking vacations, thinking about your needs first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with I understood what she was saying when she was saying it, Fifth, because a lot of times, you know, you could be in a situation and it's between it's your feelings or another person's feelings, right? And a lot of people will like try to make you feel bad for choosing yourself, you know, so that like you feel that selfish, but really it's not, you know. So you have to kind of like discern what situations are toxic and non-toxic, and is being selfish the right thing to do in that situation, or choosing yourself over the other person, or like a certain situation, you know.
So beyond that, I can give you an example of you could be selfish about something that doesn't hurt someone, and then you could be selfish about something that does hurt someone. Right. So I guess it's like this, right? There's priority, and then there's selfishness. So Angie, if you're prioritizing your mental health and you have to call out of work, that's not selfishness. Right? But beyond it, if you're calling out of work because there was not calling out of work, if you're canceling a plan with your wife
Yep.
because it's her birthday
Yep.
and you're just thinking about yourself, you just selfishly just was like, oh nah, baby, I ain't coming. That could hurt her. You see what I'm saying? That's
diabolical right there.
Right. So that would be pure selfishness, because in that moment, this person means something to you. So you did that to them on their day. So that hurts. But if it's something that, like I said before, you're prioritizing your mental health because today ain't the day, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, I'm calling out of work today. I don't consider that. I mean, me personally, I don't consider that selfishness, because let's just say you did go to work that day. You're not going to be no good to yourself or the people that you work with or the people that depend on you that you work with. You know? Right. And then that walks the fine line of sacrifice too. But that's another thing.
Yeah.
You know? Go ahead, Zacchaeus. You're on mute. I think you're talking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, many times once in a while I call off for work and I just say sometimes you just need a woo-saw moment, just to relax, kick back, relax, drink a little lemonade, and just relax with your buddy if you have one, and just relax. Just take the sunshine, enjoy the day. I don't think that's being. It's just taking care of yourself, not really being selfish, but just enjoying your moment, enjoying your time. Because let me tell you something. You keep going at work all the time, man, and I don't know how much people are retired, but you keep going at work all the time, and man, sometimes you just need that time off, that day just to relax and take care of yourself, Yeah. It's a time, there's a balance, like what Ray said, time and place for everything under the sun. The balance is a time to relax, time to get together with individuals and build. Time is a time and place for everything under the sun. So sometimes you just need that time just to get away. Yeah, just to get away. There's so many songs about get away, but I'm not gonna sing one today. But yeah, you just need a time to get away and just relax, just release. Yeah.
I think everyone answered the question. I just was kind of wanted to speak to what Angie brought up, because Angie brought up an interesting point, and I know people are going to be listening and they're going to be like, me calling out of work is selfish? You know what I'm saying? So I just, because listen, I understand. There are times where you have to collect your brain, especially when you work in a stressful environment. When you work, I mean, Zacchaeus, me and you, we won't say our jobs, right? But Zacchaeus, me and you deal with people every day and unpredictability.
Oh yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So because of that, there are definitely days that push us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So that I know personally what you do, and you know what I do, because me and you are best friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you forget a day. You may have to take a week off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might have to take Angie, you might have to take a week off, girl. Yeah, I mean that. If you do like,
I think I need a week
kind
off.
of job, man, and you're an emergency. You need to take a day, man.
Go ahead, Beyonda.
I do have pushback for that. I don't fully agree.
With what point?
With like calling out for a personal day.
You mean for mental health reasons?
Yeah, because that's what vacation is for. Like you take, like I had a meeting with my boss a while back, and he said he encourages us to use our time that we accrue to take days off. Like plan a day to where you're like, having the mental de-stress and whatever. But then when there's work time, it's work time. And I feel like a lot of people use that mental day thing as an excuse to like just not show up to work. And I'm not saying that you do. I'm just saying that like it is kind of like a fine line you're walking, whereas like you're taking that for yourself versus like you're just being selfish. And it's hard to like gauge which one is accurate, which is why like when people call out for a mental health day, no one can question it because they don't know if that person's lying or not.
Well,
Wait, Zacchaeus, hold on one second.
okay.
I saw Angie on mute because this is kind of her point in minds to some degree. Go ahead, Angie. I think you got a response.
I could see where, like, calling out of work, I'm in management. So when somebody calls out of work, that genuinely affects me. So you do have instances where people are being petty and selfish and they will call out. That is very frustrating. But as somebody that's in management and I have to manage a bunch of little kids and rats that don't know how to function in adult society. And then I have to answer to a bunch of bosses above me that don't care about what I got going on. They just want to see results. And my phone going off all damn day. Yeah, I need to call out actually. I'm tired, overworked. My brain is racked up. Every time I'm in there, I got anxiety. I'm shaking looking over my shoulder. I need a day or two, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. But yeah.
Zacchaeus, go ahead.
Big up to all the law enforcement officers out there, man, and emergency units. It's a different field altogether. And when you are a officer of the law, police officer, they tell you if you cannot handle the stress, sometimes if you're a police officer, you need to take that day. Because there's something called snap. If you snap and you make a mistake and you hurt an individual because you didn't give yourself a time to relax or give yourself time to take a woosah moment, I call it. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a woosah. A moment where you can just take a mental break, because there's a lot of officers that need it desperately bad, and because they don't get it, this is where they need counseling, and they need that individual moment to somebody to reach out to them and help them, because they snap. And my gosh, this is why it's important for them to. This is why we take every time. I'm not gonna say what I do, but this is why every time they have courses. Every few months they do this, where they ask you about your mental health issues, and certain tests they give you just to know that you're on point. And they advise you, it's best if you're gonna lose your mind, it's best that you take a break. It's better you take a day than you be on duty and lose your mind while you're on duty. So it's needed. It's definitely needed. Not to take advantage of it, but some individuals, because when you start the force, you don't take days off like that. Sometimes you work holidays. If you're an emergency unit where you work all throughout the year, and when you begin, you don't take no days off, barely have days off, you work all the holidays, while when the person that was maybe a secretary or in management, they have the days off because they're in a different area. But you as an officer, you're going at it. You're standing there. You're dealing with the public. You're dealing with the stress. You're dealing with the ins and outs of heart. There's just people yelling in your face, people screaming at you, people and wrestling individuals. You can get hurt. You may not come home. There's a lot of things to deal with. So Yeah. With that kind of feel, you need that mental, you need that time to take, you need to take time, because it's a 24/7, 24-hour job. It's not like the secretary that automatically, because a holiday comes up, for example, like Christmas or the major holidays come up, you off. No, you're on duty. You're on duty. And unless you've been there for a while, or you've been there and you have tenureship, or you've been there for a good while, then they give it to you. But when you're on the street dealing with the public, it is no joke. And you can't knock it. When somebody say, "Oh, I don't want to be a cop," you can't knock them. You can't knock them, because there's a lot of stress that comes with the job. You'd be lucky if you see 20 years, because every day you put on that uniform, it's an unsurety. So you'd be lucky if you see. Some people do make it to 20 years. If they retire 20 years, that's good. But it's a lot of. It's no joke. All I can say is no joke. I know some police officers personally, and they say, listen, they need to take time. Sometimes they just need that time, that moment. They need that moment. You know. I'm a land right there, but yeah, I'm a land right there, man. Yeah.
My only pushback to that, and what you said is correct. All that is correct. But I think this is my opinion, because I it's my opinion, right? I think that there's a difference between working as a police officer, firefighter, whatever, right? It's different from working that kind of job
Yeah.
than working at like Walmart.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's big
different
difference.
things.
Big difference.
So I would say like the stress levels. I mean, everyone has their own threshold as to what they can handle. I get that.
Yeah.
There are. If a cop is saying that he needs a mental break, that's understandable, because what they deal with is a range from a traffic ticket to a body.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot different. So
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
a lot of young people, coming up, or for a while, they were using that mental health thing as like just a way to like a loophole to get around certain things, and if you questioned it, then you were the bad person, and it's kind of hard to like I was saying before, it's kind of hard to gauge like what's real and what's not real anymore, because everyone has like their own like definitions of what is stressful to them,
Mhm.
like someone would say, hey, me being a manager at Food Line is the same as being a cop. Well, it's not. It might be hard for you, and that's true, but try putting yourself in someone else's shoes who is dealing with a burnt corpse in the house. Let it be like firefighters see like people die all the time, even kids. That's different than you having kind of like a bad day at Publix or
Yes, big
Walmart,
time.
you know.
Yeah, big time. There's a
So,
big difference. Um, even your attire is a big difference, because you put on the bulletproof vest. That's hot enough. You're in 90-degree weather. You're walking all day with a bulletproof, and you have all this equipment on, and then you're responding to certain. You don't know what you're responding to. You're responding to domestic situations. You don't know what you're running. You don't know what you're running into. Many times. Oh man, so many times. You don't know what you're running into, compared to somebody that um that has the opportunity to automatically, because you're a person working in the office, your administration, you automatically get holidays, automatically get time off. Sometimes you work from home, remotely work from home. No officers don't work from home. You got to be there on the job, but you work from home sometimes, and it's a big difference, very big difference, compared to somebody um, administration that's able to take to work remotely, and to just have holidays off automatically, compared to police officers who gotta be there on the beat. Some people work 16-hour shifts. Some people work 16-hour shifts, and they say, I'm never home. I know as an officer, I know, I'm not going to call his name out. He said, I'm never home. I said, you never home? He said, no, I'm never home. I'm always on duty, man. Always on duty, meaning that he's barely there, man. Always at work. When you're on a vacation, guess where he's at? On duty. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't think this is why I don't speak in absolutes. I don't think anybody would compare Walmart to construction. So, that was never the point, but
yeah,
I'm going to move on. So the next question is, has self-love culture accidentally created self-centered culture?
Self-love culture.
I would have to question how true the self-love is.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, self-love, if self-love is a true improvement of self, then it's not selfish. But if what's alleged to be self-love is what's happening a lot in this day and age, I only see that as contributing to the collapse of the community as a whole. I mean, that's just my take. It depends on how true the self-love is.
I heard the first part, Fifth. What was?
Yeah, I'll read it again. Has self-love culture accidentally created a self-centered culture?
Yes. 1000%.
Wait right there. Go ahead, Beyonda. You can finish.
Yeah, I was going to say 1000%. People are full of themselves.
Yeah.
The thing called vanity. People do things because they want to be perceived a certain way. That is under the guise of self-love.
Yes.
All of that is sinful. So,
yeah,
people are the egos in people. The egos in people are quite insane. Whether it's average, whether it's nice, it don't matter what it is. Look at the Met Gala, for example. The Met Gala, man, I watched that thing. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was like, what are they wearing? These weird, these costumes, like this Halloween. They ain't self-love. That's just them putting on a show. Like they're freaking circus animals. They might as well go ahead and get a tricycle at that point, because all they're doing is performing.
Well,
exactly.
Beyond real quick, would that be like the art gallery's version of a Comic-Con?
Yeah, actually, yes, it would. It would be a Comic-Con for stuck-up people.
Yes.
Wow.
What you think, Zacchaeus? Has this self-love culture created a self-centered culture?
Oh yes. Yes. Listen, I listen. You could see it on well, I would say I could connect that with social media too, because look at this. There's people that will, for example, they always got to be on camera, no matter what. There was this young lady, Fifth Ray. There was this young lady that said she was laying on her bed. She said she's bored. She's laying on her bed on Instagram. I'm like, okay, you don't have to share that. There's people that man, I seen it all, man. I seen it all. She's saying, I think it was this weekend actually. This girl, she's just saying, she's sharing that though. Listen, this girl was sharing that that she borrowed money from somebody and she didn't pay it back. I'm like, okay, that didn't have to be shared on social media. Okay, and they just Oh man, they're just full of. Beyond that, he's hit it on there, man. They're just full of themselves. I see it. I see it. I see it. Listen, there's people that post every single day on Instagram. You see them on Instagram. They're just posting and there's people that's substandard too, because this is what they'll take out their phone before helping you. Watch you get robbed. Watch you get beat up. They take out their phone just to get clicks, likes, and shares. They'll take out their phones to see certain things that before they help you. Guess what? That phone is coming out. They're hitting record. Yo, we getting jumped out here, man. Yo. They'll take out their phones quicker than they can lend a hand to help you. I've seen that so many times, and they get clicks and they get likes and they get views. Oh man, I see that so many times on social media, and I've seen it all, man. And we are living in a. You see people. For example, now you could be talking to somebody and they're all glued to their phone. They didn't hear a word you done say. I mean, you see them. We're not. We're in a different society right now where people are glued to the phone, but they're not even conversating with you. They're not even talking to you because guess what? They didn't even heard a word you say because they're. I've seen there's couples that turn their back to their back facing each other, texting what should I eat for dinner. That's the kind of individualism that is out there right now. I mean, man, nobody's really talking socializing. So and people are taking out their phones to get clicks, shares, and likes. Y'all know it, y'all see it, and that's what it is. That's what it's all about. Individualism. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got another question. Ray, you had something to say?
No. To piggyback off Zacchaeus, I think that the type of individual being described based on the question, it's a lack of quality, if you ask me. I mean, when we didn't have social media, who we asked as far as what should I wear and everything, that was privatized. And I just think that, questions like that and other questions that don't need to be publicized, I just think that people are using social media to say that they're bored. Again, you have to check the individual that's bored, because if you're just going to go and waste your own time and not have any quality thing to say or promote, it says a lot. Then you have to question the quality of that type of individualism.
It's a fact. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Let me go into. We're in the second hour of the show. Let me get to the relationship portion of these questions. So I have a clip to play, and then we're gonna respond to it. Okay. So let me go ahead and bring this up. See what y'all think.
I feel really bad for people looking to get married these days, like young people looking to get remarried. Like, how do you find somebody with your exact value system in terms of how you pray and how you view marriage and roles and money and in-laws and living situation? And there's something to say about having a community, having traditions, having a culture where it was much easier to find people who were in line with what you believe in and how you view the world. And now we're so individualized, and like even your family name means nothing, your khandan name, your neighborhood, nothing means anything anymore because everybody is so individualized. It's like we're looking for a customized husband or wife, whereas before, you kind of had some uniformity in terms of beliefs and values. So I don't know how we return to that. I think that is kind of how our society is antithetical almost to marriage. Individualism does not bode well with marriage.
Hey, I'm gonna play it again from Meerkat, okay? And Angie, let me play this again. Go ahead and go.
I feel really bad for people looking to get married these days, like young people looking to get remarried. Like, how do you find somebody with your exact value system in terms of how you pray and how you view marriage and roles and money and in-laws and living situation? And there's something to say about having a community, having traditions, having a culture where it was much easier to find people who were in line with what you believe in and how you view the world. And now we're so individualized, and like even your family name means nothing, you know, your khandan name, your neighborhood, nothing means anything anymore because everybody is so individualized. It's like we're looking for a customized husband or wife, whereas before, you know, you kind of had some uniformity in terms of beliefs and values. So I don't know how we return to that. I think that is kind of how our society is antithetical almost to marriage. Individualism does not bode well with marriage.
Some good things said there. Let me ask this question before y'all respond to that video. Has modern dating become too focused on personal benefit?
Oh yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Because there was the generation before modern dating took place. It was more mutual. It was, I mean, as much as the bag mattered, there was more of an agenda to mutually build. You know, you may have gone in with individual ideas, but at the same time, you knew that if you're getting together with somebody and you're building towards marriage, or even if it's a long-term relationship, you know it's not one-sided. And now, because the ideals are not similar or mutual, yeah, it's a totally different agenda. So the way modern dating is now, where you have a lot of simps and simpettes that give way to the one-sided idea of who they're desiring and trying to get with, yeah, it just ruins the quality of what once was. And the simps and simpettes are not helping what we as traditionalists are still trying to maintain and recapture.
You said that before on the podcast. That's why I'm laughing. Simpettes. I'm gonna ask the question again, and also responding to the video. Has modern dating become too focused on personal benefit? Go ahead,
Yes.
Milkat.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it has to a degree because people have been hurt or they only want what they want. And some people grew up having to just fend for themselves. So being a part of community is something they deep down desire, but don't know how to go about being a part of it. And it's a learning process, and it takes genuinely caring people to hang in there with them and break down some walls because of what they had to do growing up. Um, and I think we that grew up in good families, I grew up in a good family. I have a good family. We're a good community. We help each other out. So um, it's a learning process because I've befriended people and they've become part of our family that didn't really have good families. So we always had room for more. And that's what, anytime we had a big family get together, there was always enough food for more. And people just generally are touched by it. So I think that's one reason why you have people that turn out as super selfish adults. And, I don't need nobody. I can do it all myself. And, you know, that's where that is. And it makes them hard to be in a healthy marriage or healthy relationships, even of being a good parent to their children. Um, but it can happen. They don't have to stay that way. We can always reach out and touch someone and include them in, and walk it out with them, unless it's just not possible. Sometimes you just got to walk away from people who are um, they need therapy that you can't give them. Love is not enough. I would say love is not. Sometimes love is just not enough. But anyway, I'll land there.
Yeah. And anybody else, has modern dating become too focused on personal benefit?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Beyonda.
I personally think that there's a lack of love. Now I'll explain why, right? Love, people get this wrong, right? I've heard this too many times. Love's not enough, blah, blah, blah. But it actually is. If you actually like dissect like what it is, right? Like it's an action. It's like it transcends just the feeling, you know? Like you can get the butterflies and the giddy goos and all that, whatever, but like that's not like love though. Like love is going above and beyond for the other person because you love them. You know, like how Christ loves us. He didn't do what he did because it was obligation. No, it was love. It was the act of love is very, 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 very powerful if you actually have it in your heart. If you don't have it in your heart, then you're gonna fall short of a lot of things in your relationship, which is why it doesn't exist like in today's dating marketplace. You know, there is no love. It's more about what can you do for me? You know, it's an equal value exchange, I feel like. And, you know, you get with someone out of convenience, you settle, you're like, oh, well, I can't do any better than this, or I'm too old. Well, let me go ahead and settle for this guy or this girl. Ray says simpets, you know, same thing with that. You know, a simpet is, you know, what's crazy? A simpet is one like an older woman who settles for the guy because that's all she can get. That's what it is, you know. So, yeah, that's why I'll say.
Beyond to stay right there. If Jess was on this panel,
Yeah,
she would call a simpet a pick me.
no.
But she would. You know why?
Well,
Because you know what her ideology is about what a pick me actually is, as opposed to what the real definition of a pick me is.
yeah.
That's why I said that. So shout outs to Jess. No need to beat up on her. I love Jess, so that's why I'm just bringing that up. So Angie, you saw the video, right?
I sure did.
All right. So the video and then the question, has modern dating become too focused on personal benefit?
Yes. And I would like to say, in the great words of RuPaul, how in the hell can you love somebody else when you can't even love yourself? And going to what the Beyonder said, I don't think that there's a lack of love. I think that people are scared, scarred, and hurt. And that can, unless they work on that and get to the bottom of that, which is what my generation is, I guess, trying to get to the bottom of, then we're going to continue to be in a society of where people can no longer see eye to eye and people are constantly beefing. If you actually look, my generation is actually the generation that is, I think there was a 26% increase in faith amongst the younger generation. People my age are getting engaged and married. I would just like to say that. Now, simps plus simpettes. Now, I don't know what y'all think a simp or is, but a simp is a man that will do anything for that girl, respectfully, right?
With no
If you
reciprocation. That's the
yes,
context, though.
and
Yes.
respectfully, when you give, you should when you give and you're actually giving out the kindness of your heart, you give without expecting anything in return. Let's start there. Simpets, if we actually let's talk about it, right? Because we talk about all this selfishness inside of the dating realm nowadays, right? The simps and the simpets are actually helping the dating society because they're selfless. They just don't know. They just have to find a healthy balance of being selfless to where they're not getting taken advantage of. Okay, moving on. My generation, right? and millennials, we are not struggling for love, for better or for get the hell up out my face. We're not doing that. Like, because let's be real. Social media is around. There wasn't no social media back in the day, but your grandmama's definitely was tracking that beeper, that pager. You feel me? It was definitely pages back in the day. She was tracking the pager. And men were just a lot because social media wasn't around. All these technologies weren't around to broadcast everything that everybody's doing. The same stuff was going on back then, but also women cared about keeping their families together more than they cared about themselves, and we see how that turned out. Also, leave the simps. I don't want to hear no simpettes. We gonna drop that. But that's my stance on the younger generation, the dating society today, and what y'all have to say about it, and what I have to say about it.
Angie. All right, Angie. I will wait. Has anybody not gone? Has everybody gone? I just want to make sure before we rebuttal. Has everybody responded to the video?
Yeah.
And the question.
The video itself, I'm gonna talk about it. I like what he said at the end of the video. He said that self-centeredness cannot have a successful marriage or be in a healthy relationship. Yeah, but let's leave the simples. No, we gonna leave the simples up, but
no, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna just let you talk before I go. I gotta talk to Angie. Go ahead.
We can't pretend they don't exist, though.
They helping out the dating realm.
How do you figure they're helping?
Yo, because they're the ones that's being romantic. The simps and the simpettes. We hear men talk about how they feel so unappreciated. Then when y'all finally get a woman that's showing you appreciation, that don't mind sticking out with you, that don't mind showing you love and affection, now she a simpette? Bye.
No. Here's the thing. What I'm referring to when I talk about simps and simpettes are the ones who are in one-sided relationships and one-sided marriages where it's not mutual, where the love that a quote-unquote simp and simpettes get, the recipients of that love, they have an air of entitlement and not reciprocation or appreciation. So it's the ones who are giving the love in one-sided relationships. Those are what I refer to as simps or simpettes.
That's I would just like to report cultural appropriation right now, because you can't take my word from my generation and try to flip it. Nah. We gotta find another definition for what you're trying to say.
That's that. You know how old simp is?
Right, but we changed it. Like with social media and Urban Dictionary.
What has changed to?
Well. See
what I said.
But see that's the problem, Angie, because there's a lot of things that we have changed that have muddied the waters of the understanding that we've always had, even before you were born or before I was born. Like, for instance, when did glizzy become a hot dog?
A few years ago. Like
what was glizzy before a hot dog? Exactly. So that example, I would say, is this. But let me talk to my little sister real quick. So let's talk about the terminology, right? The simp, right? And why this word gets thrown out there, right? There are many women, and I'll get to the men. There are many women who like simps because it benefits them, but they won't marry them. So then when they don't get that result, they become villains.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but start from the beginning again.
I was saying that women have benefited from simps.
Mhm.
They will date them. They will use them, free meal them, whatever it is. Pay my cable bill. Pay my internet bill. Pay my phone bill. Pay my rent. But those simps are not the men that they marry.
Mhm.
Who they marry is Jody, Tyrone, and Pookie.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
Those three men are not simps. Right?
That's facts.
So what happens, and not all, Angie, I see your face. You know I don't speak in absolutes. And not all, right? So the problem with that is when they don't get the results that they were hoping they would get from simping, they become villains to other people in the dating market. So that's actually not good. A lot of hurt men, I'm going to just say this real quick. A lot of hurt men, angry men in the dating world and on the internet are the ones that used to be simps. And they don't want to be a simp no more. Okay? So then what happens is they run into a simpette and they hurt her. When if we could get the simp and the simpette together, that's actually a mutual relationship.
Amen. There you go.
Right?
I feel like it all comes down to discernment.
Okay.
I feel like it all comes down to discernment. But what's wrong? Like, if he want to pay my electricity bill, he offering it. Pay my goddamn bill. Why?
But are you appreciative or are you entitled? Which is it?
I'm not entitled, but shoot, if you offering it, hey, I'm
Do
taking
you
it.
appreciate it? Or
I
are
sure
you
do,
taking it for
baby.
granted?
Because I don't gotta pay it.
Then what does he get?
We don't know what he gonna get. Like,
Just
What I
me.
said.
See,
he don't gotta get nothing from me. He wanted to do it.
Will you marry somebody like that? Will you
Like
be with
what?
somebody like that?
Who?
Would you be with
Would you marry a simp?
Yeah, covering you, paying your hair, paying your nails, doing all better, going beyond
Offering
the call
it,
of duty.
shoot. If you
Going beyond the
offering
call
it,
of duty.
Can you see yourself, Angie? Let me ask a better question. Angie, can you see yourself submitting and respecting that man as your husband who's going to do all of that?
yeah, you doing whatever to make me happy.
Oh,
Really? So Zacchaeus, I got this.
Go ahead.
Angie, now you know I have certain sound effects, not for you, but for Jess. Okay, don't make me use them on you. I just use one. So here's the thing, Angie. I'm willing to prove that you, yourself, even at the age you are now, you don't want a man to do everything you want. You want a man, every now and then, a man who tells you no is the men that women typically respect. And he can still be the person who gives and gives like you're talking about. But guess what? He is still a man of substance. He is still a man of resilience when he needs to be. And he is not going to let any woman walk all over him. That's the men that women marry. But they don't marry the yes man. Which one? Yes, dear.
That's
Yes.
right.
Right, but if you attraction plays into that too. Half the time these simps don't even be attractive. Like, they don't even be the type. And the reason why they really simping is because, and they're able to get away with that. Like, you know, you not her type. You still gonna go and try.
Ray, she's helping your point.
That's the
I know she is. Because
That's-
look, it's like
Ray
this.
don't got a point.
Here's what it comes down to. The ultimate simp song. And Zacchaeus knows I hate this song. Jimmy Koja, She's All I Got. Okay?
Yes.
That goes for both simps and simpettes, where you do all this good stuff and there's no reciprocation. Why? Because he or she is all a simp or simpette has. Not himself, not the higher power, that other person who is taking them for granted and is not really appreciating, but is entitled.
Beyond,
And
go
I
ahead.
think maybe you
Oh, my
need to
bad.
listen to the lyrics of that song to understand
where the mistreatment
thing.
comes in, right? That has nothing to do with that one individual, because okay, if that other person wants to take my kindness for weakness or for granted, I still gave from the kindness of my heart. Like, that's what I'm getting down to. We're like,
Yeah, but giving from the kindness of your heart doesn't make, all right. So giving from the kindness of your heart doesn't make you a quote unquote simp or a simpet. But beyond that, you had a point. I don't want you to forget it.
I was gonna say the foundation of being a simp is you're lacking the physical appearance. You know, if you're not physically attractive, it's not going to bring confidence to which you are going to be attractive to a large pool of women. Now, if you're like kind of average or whatever, you're going to have to do things to give you a leg up, which is why simping exists. It's to compensate for the things they don't have. So they have to give and give and give. I mean, yes, man, so that one day, whether it be 9 days, 9 months, or 9 years, they will get the girl that they want.
Hey, let me see if all the fellas on here are gonna be honest. Raise your hand if at one point of your life you have been a simp.
You better believe it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I remember it was yesterday.
So Angie missed that. Angie missed what we just did. I had all the fellas admit that ever in their life before they have ever been a simp. All of us men raised our hands. So we know exactly what we're talking about. We are on the side of someone who is simped and has evolved from simping, because you know what happened? There was a woman out there that benefited from it and didn't and said, "Hey, don't you talk about my simp because I'm winning out here." And then when that simp, and I'm gonna use the Matrix definition, I'm gonna use the reference from the Matrix. And when the Matrix was, and when we got in front of a Morpheus, and Morpheus had the blue pill and the red pill, what we were taking the blue pill all this time, thinking that we were going to get the results. And then what happens is we actually took the red pill, and then the red pill basically showed us the reality of our errors of being a simp. So what I'm saying, and thank God for Jesus, because if it wasn't for the Lord, I'd be a villain. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Angie, you don't know the half. I'd be out there terrorizing and tantalizing. Okay? So thank God for him, for his love and mercy. Because I'm telling you, listen. For those who are in the comic book world, every villain has a story arc. He has an origin where he was probably a good guy, a nice guy, right? Be a nice guy. What did Pac say? Pac said a woman, even Pac used to be a simp. He said that women rejected him because he was too nice. Too nice, right? That's not what women want, right? Women want niceness. Don't get me wrong. There's a kindness and a tenderness that women love. Don't get me wrong. But women don't want a society presumed, quote unquote, nice guy who's a sucker.
Right.
Not long term.
AKA yes man.
Right.
Right.
Because the thing is, how a simp truly evolves out of being a simp, and how a simpet evolves from being out of that, is when they establish boundaries. That's where the respect comes in.
Now, Angie, you probably never been a simpet, because as a woman, there are many women in this world that could avoid that could avoid that. Not all, but there are many women who could go through life without ever being a simp at, right? Especially if their pretty privilege meter is pretty high. Right?
I've been a simp at, or whatever he want to call it.
Okay.
A sucker. Don't call it no simp and simpette, sucker.
Yeah, well, sucker. I mean, you know, we know what that means, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said there's a what's that term? There's a sucker born every day. You know what I'm saying? So we know that.
But
go ahead,
as
Angie.
I said, simp and simpette help the dating society. However, they just have to find a healthy balance.
They need to find each other. They need to find each other. How about that? Listen, if for those who are a simp and for those who are a simpette, find each other. But here's the thing, though. And this is why this is hard for this to happen, right? Because let me tell you something. And Zacchaeus is married, right? Zacchaeus, in a marriage, is it okay to simp for your wife?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And why is that? Because that's your what?
Your wife.
Let me drop that bomb. And I'm sure by definition, and like I said, they just need to, you know, she's simp for you, right?
Yes.
That's when it's acceptable.
But it's mutual. It's
right.
mutual. It's mutual because we realize that we're one flesh, right? The Bible says we're one flesh, and we're helpmates. So we help each other. We respect each other, we love each other, and we help each other. So that's the term simp, we help each other. The term simp derives from when a person goes beyond the call of duty, give it 100%, and you go giving that woman 100%, and that woman is giving you 0%.
Right, and she doesn't value you.
You don't value.
You're just right.
You disrespect. Right. Disrespect. She don't respect your standards. She doesn't, or the simpet. Simply, she's going beyond the call of duty, buying this guy clothes. He ain't got to work. She's going beyond the call of duty. She's leaving her family behind. She's going all out. Yet that, I don't want to say the N word, but sits down, relax, pick up, don't have a job, and she's going beyond the call of duty to help him out, and she's neglecting her kids. And she's you see that she's neglecting her kids. That's what you call a simp. That's what it is.
Let me get this question in for Zacchaeus before he goes, because this is usually when he times out.
Yeah.
So Zacchaeus, I got a question, brother. And this is going to be for everybody, but I want you to go first.
Mm-hmm.
Has individualism weakened marriages, friendships, and families?
Individualism. When a person, can I say individualism has to deal with that with self-centeredness?
We touched on that, so I would just say like this, right?
Yeah.
Has the concept of individualism, has it weakened marriages, friendships, and families? That's 3 ways to answer that.
Yes, yes, and yes. I could say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, individualism is more when a person is. It could be positive. It could be negative, right? A person could be building themselves up. They could be building up their finances, trying to get their health together, trying to get certain things together. And so when they do meet, when they do meet that woman, they get selected because they have certain things in place, right? They have certain things in place because they took care of business for a while. They didn't rush into a relationship. They didn't have to be with somebody because they're lonely. They have to be with somebody, but they took their time out to build their spirituality up, get close to God. They took their time to build themselves up and to take care of certain things. Individualism. It could be a negative side to it too, where a person is just for dolo. And then when they get with somebody, it's always an ulterior motive. Thinking that they can get over on somebody. They're using them for a moment. In other words, taking advantage of that woman for a moment. She's doing certain things for you, maybe buying your clothes, maybe doing certain things for you, and you're just taking advantage of that. You're not gonna marry her. You're not gonna be in that. You're just for a moment, for a time, you're just using her up, and maybe she has a little weight issue, or maybe and you just taking advantage of her, and for you're taking her kindness for weakness, and that could be considered like a way of being a negative part of individualism. Hope I answered it correct though. Yeah.
Hey Ray, let me get to you. Has individualism weakened marriages, friendships, and families? What do you think?
Yeah, it depends on the type of individualism. I mean, to piggyback off Zacchaeus, yeah. I mean, if it's if it's a selfish type of individualism, it's a one-sided type of individualism where you involve yourself in a community or in a relationship and you haven't taken care of self as far as doing the work that will make you an asset and not reduce yourself to only the first three letters of the word, then yeah, individualism can be, a negative thing. But if you are in progress of doing the work, because none of us will ever achieve perfection. So I don't want people to think that's what I'm going for. None of us will ever achieve perfection, but if if you're forever work in progress and the effort is being shown, then you are definitely a plus to the community, to your relationship, to your friendship, definitely to your family, because what you're doing is you're working with the higher power to be better and to evolve. So you're an asset to self as well as others. So it depends on the type of individualism that's being discussed, because it can be positive or negative, and it can contribute to the destruction and weakening of the strong balance of family, community, and all that positive stuff if it's not worked on from within at first.
I like that. Beyond has individualism weakened marriages, friendships, and families?
Of course it has. Look at
Yeah.
the divorce rate. Look at the divorce rate. That's definitely a byproduct. Maybe not primarily of individualism, but it's a big chunk.
Checkmate.
For and I get it. Like there are biblically valid reasons for getting divorced, but then there are like some iffy ones, where it's like, okay, this one is someone's being selfish here, you know. So yeah, I would say that that's a pretty big factor as to why things are getting ruined. I mean, even I wouldn't say it's individualism, this particular example I'm about to share, because there was two of them. But my fiance and I watched a documentary about these teenage friends, and the one girl, which is the third wheel, was getting in their way, so they got rid of her. They offed her, because she got in her way, or she got in their way, and that's a more extreme. That's very extreme, but like that's kind of how like people see other people nowadays. If you're in my way, I'm going to get rid of you. I'm not going to be your friend. I'm not going to be anything. You're not. If you can't offer me anything, I'm not going to be your friend or be your wife or husband. I'll land there.
Meerkat, you there?
Hey, fifth. Hey, blessings, y'all.
PZ, we almost done. Go ahead, man. We'll talk.
We'll talk, definitely.
Good to see you.
All right. The question was, Angie has Angie can't hear us. Okay. Yo, y'all can hear me?
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear
we
y'all.
hear you. We hear you, Angie.
I finally got home, so the connection's better.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Meerkat is the only one that's talking.
No, can you hear me?
No, I cannot hear you. I'm just reading your lips.
Hey Ray, say something. Can you hear Ray?
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear Beyonder.
Oh,
Oh, you can't hear me?
I cannot hear you, Ray.
Wow.
That's so weird.
That is weird.
That is very weird.
What? Hey, Beyonda, ask her what browser she's using because she can't hear me.
he wants
I
to know
can't hear
what
you.
browser. He wants to know what browser you're using.
Safari, and I'm on my iPad.
Using Safari on her iPad.
Ask her if she okayed the camera and the mic permissions.
Did you okay the mic and camera permissions?
Yeah.
She did.
Really?
Okay, tell her to hit refresh.
Hit refresh.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, when she comes back, if she can't hear me, you ask her if her stuff is on silent because when my homeboy was on here last time, he said that every time he got a notification that it took his audio out.
Talking about Ron.
Yeah, my boy Ron, yeah. Angie, can you hear me now?
Yeah, cool dude.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, Ron's
Can you
my
hear
guy.
me?
Okay. All right, Angie, you got your tablet on silent?
I'm about to put it on D&D. It's connected to. It's
Okay.
on personal, but
Okay.
I just gotta make sure
Yeah.
nobody.
No, it's okay. When my boy Ron was on here, he said that every time he got a notification that it took his audio out, and that's when I was like, okay, yeah, you got to put it on silent. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the question was because we got off the simp talk. The question was, has individualism weakened marriages, friendships, and families?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Meerkat, and expound if you can, unless you're busy.
Well, because if you're in a relationship with whoever, if it's all about you, it's not going to work out. No, it's not going to eventually be good at some point, and it's going to be very probably hurtful and go sideways really bad. And then if you bring kids into the mix, it's you've damaged children, future adults, and so no, it doesn't work.
Go ahead, Angie. Same question.
I do believe like yes and no. Um, no, in that having some individualism is actually important for marriage and not being codependent on your person, and that's with anybody. Um, so in that regard, no. Learning to find peace with yourself and being okay with being by yourself is not harmful, and being able to handle situations by yourself or prioritizing yourself, whether that be in a marriage or whatever, it actually has shown to be beneficial to women and men, but mostly women. But men benefit from marriages 1,000% more. So, it's very important that it benefits us. Uh, I
Angie?
I do. I think that having individualism is healthy in a relationship. Like, and this is for I need my space. You feel me? Like, it's important it's important you got your space, I got my space, but then and then we come together when we like, you feel me? Because people be the common thing that you hear, oh, I'm sick, oh, I'm so used to this boring routine when people married for like 15 years or whatever and they start going through their problems. Nah, man. Had you had some individualism in that marriage, you went out, you want to go home and eat dinner with your husband, nah, go outside with your girls, man. What? I see you when I get back, baby. Doo-doo. Yeah.
Can I add something real quick? Can I add something real quick? I think it's healthy to know who you are, and I think being an individualism for a moment so you can figure out who you are. Because if you don't know what you are, I mean, who you are, what you really, really want and don't want, you're not going to find it in a, without knowing who you are. And sometimes it takes being by yourself and all about yourself for a moment, not a lifestyle, to get some balance and maybe get some therapy. I don't know. I see her point to a degree, and sometimes you can't always. Have you? There was a Seinfeld episode where Jerry met a woman who was his twin, his Siamese twin, and they ended up like couldn't stand each other because they were too much alike.
I remember that. That was Janine Garofalo.
It was so fun. It was funny because he ended up like not standing himself. He said, "Oh my God!" He learned a lot about himself by someone mirroring him. So yeah, I don't think you need to be. Y'all can't be just alike. You need to have some individual qualities. And that's the healthy, I think, individualism that maybe Angie, is that right? That you're kind of referring to, maybe. It can get sideways quick though. You gotta know and stand on who you are and not have people. Have you ever had someone treat you like a square peg and trying to stuff you in a round hole? I've been there a few times, so it feels bad, and then you lose who you are. You lose yourself because you're fighting so hard to say, well, maybe I am wrong, maybe I was wrong, maybe I'm not right, and it's someone who's you probably don't need to be with. I'm gonna land there.
Let me get to beyond beyond the.
Beyond is the voice of truth, I think.
Hey, beyond it, real quick.
No.
Did Angie remind you of someone for a few seconds with a point that she made?
You got a fifth.
Listen, and I wish he was here tonight. I ain't gonna lie.
Me too.
I wish he was here tonight.
Listen, I love me some her. I know who we talking about.
She's a good one.
I love me some Jess.
Yep.
She gave me a lot to think about.
All right. I do. Don't get me wrong. She has a lot of hot takes, but personally I rock with her. But she brings the debate spirit out of me every time. But it is what it is. We love you, Jess. So I want to ask this question because this is actually very important, right? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Good. Hey, sir.
This is not a yes man at all.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? I'm glad he's there. I'm going to ask a question, right? That the both of y'all can answer, right?
Okay.
And that is, has the push of individualism made us as a culture become more emotionally unavailable?
I would think more available, because if you don't have an identity, you can't partner with another identity to make. It's like making a gumbo. You need all the ingredients. Being an individual to be together, you got to have both.
But the selfish side is no, it's not. So.
Well, love is not selfish. So if you got people that only know self-centered, it's not going to be a harmonious equation.
But I think what you're talking about, Fifth, is it's not gone well for this generation. They're like super selfish. You can't work them with X-lax. Have you ever worked at a job with a kid in their early, they're probably in their 20s now? You can't work them with X-lax. They think they need to be paid $50 an hour to do very little.
I just found out today I'm Generation Jones from 1954 to 1965.
Generation Jones? Have y'all heard Generation Jones?
I haven't heard of that term. What's the letter? Would that be? Would that be? Would that be?
Oh, he said
Is that baby boomer? That's not
No,
baby boomer, right?
unique. There's a time period. It's on YouTube. It blew
Uh-huh.
my mind. But I'm actually, it's 1961, so I
Mhm.
felt right in the middle of that.
Gen Z and
We're not Gen Z. We're not baby boomers. There's a period of time, the economy and the world as it was, the kids that were born between 1954 and 1965
Yeah.
on Jones, because it was the high interest rates. Inflation was off the rails. Jobs wasn't there. Oil embargo. There's a lot of. It was after Vietnam, but before. It's just a little window of time for those people that were born. You'll find it interesting, but it's Generation Jones.
I think it's we didn't have like the Vietnam War. We didn't have like major events that was significant, like the baby boomers, World War II, and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
You know, those major events. And the kids that are going through now, we've got all the mess that's going on right now. But I don't even like to talk about it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So we kind of skated through the, I don't know, what do you call it, the defining public events. I don't know, historical moments. Pearl Harbor. We didn't have Pearl Harbor. We didn't have Vietnam. You know, we didn't have all that. We kind of was on the aftermath of it and grew up with things kind of, I don't say peaceful, but you know, we didn't have like what happened in Selma and stuff like that. We didn't have that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that sometimes there's a generation that sits in that pocket.
I think that's what he's talking about. If you go to YouTube and I guess search Generation Jones, that whoever he's talking about will probably give you a good idea or the explanation about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna go look it up because I didn't see it. He did.
Yeah. So for the rest of the panel, are we becoming emotionally available as a culture because of the push of, you know, individualism, self-centeredness, and stuff like that? What do you think, Beyonda?
No.
Unpack it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, we're not emotionally available because in order to be emotionally available, you have to be emotionally intelligent. To be able to dissect the situation and know what emotion is best for that, people don't know how to do that. Not kind of stuff. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. Angie, are we becoming emotionally unavailable as a culture in this modern era? Go ahead, Angie.
No. I think that we are becoming very aware emotionally in present day. That's why everybody's complaining that everybody's boohoo crybabies and nobody can do anything anymore because we are becoming more emotionally available. You see how people crowd around each other online to create different communities and support one another. You'd be surprised how a simple video can go viral and change your entire life. And land you into a different place with the outreach of community and people being empathetic towards you. Now I want to go back to love is not selfish. Love is selfish sometimes. And Gen Z and Gen Alpha are two different things. I just want to make that clear.
What
But
is
yeah.
Gen Alpha? I've not heard of that term either.
That's her
Gen
generation
Alpha,
right now.
What age group? What age group?
So the reason why it's called
Teenagers.
alpha is because because after Z, you got to go through the alphabet again. So Gen Alpha would be her generation.
No,
Okay.
I'm Gen Z.
You're at you. What year was you born?
03, baby.
You're at the end of it. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you're at like the very end of it.
two different things. Them Gen Alphas is the ones that's loose and crazy.
Oh yeah.
The millennials kids don't know how to act.
I agree, Angie.
Mm.
I was born in '61, so
No, your kids are the ones that don't know how to act.
I know my grandkids know how to act because they get their
They
their
talk from
parents.
the old school. See,
Yeah,
and that's
my,
what I'm
my
saying.
my kids are old school to a degree. They're so
Yeah, you raised by the old. I'm raised by the old school
yeah.
because because they was raised by the old school, and then they was raised by the old school. So I came out old school. You
Yeah.
feel me? So
Yeah.
I'm 39, right? But I think like somebody who's older than that. You feel me?
Yeah, but
And
also
so I have, and sometimes I'll admit I have some old school rigidness that
okay.
people don't rock with, but it's
They
there.
respect it. I'm sure
I
they respect it, right?
yeah, I constructive, yes. If it's something that's not constructive, I deal with it. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect, but I do have some things that are very. I have some rigid things about me. I'm just being honest. I admit,
A
but
lot of people.
I also try to keep it open to at least always be conscious of self evaluation and development, and also to take constructive criticism from people. You know what I'm saying? And
I think
sometimes I may not get it in that moment. I may get it later. Like for instance, you could give me a wisdom. You could drop a wisdom nugget on me on Monday, and I may not understand it Monday, but on Wednesday I've had time to think about it and sleep on it, and then I can come back and say, you know what, you was right.
I think the behavior of this young generation. I think they're begging. They're begging for some truth. They're begging for someone to um, show them what's real because they don't believe anything. I really honestly think they don't believe anything. They don't believe anything. They've been ignored to a degree. Parents were working and divorces, and they just got ignored. And the worst thing you can do to a child is to ignore them. That is one of the worst, other than physical and sexual abuse. When you ignore a child and they're totally ignored, like they don't matter, it's very damaging. And
I
I think
agree
that
with the
creates
oh,
the I'm sorry, that has created I don't say monster, but anyway, that has created the generation that we have. We're trying to, I don't know, help.
Hey, Midcat, hey, tell Michael that he's walking around with no shirt on, and he
I
just
know he
walking
just walked
around.
by, he blew in and blew right out. I'm sorry. Sorry. I turned back to the voice.
It's on YouTube, Mr. Michael.
He's in the back.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We just drove in from
I
Denver, South
understand. I
Louisiana.
understand. He's living in his house. I get it. Trust me. I get
I
it.
know
I
you
get
can't
it.
do that on YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't want him to remove any more clothing. Okay. That's why I just want to make sure he
No,
knows. Okay.
he's not doing that on here. Anyway,
Oh,
sorry.
it's all right. Uh, um, Ray, did you get to answer the question? Are we becoming emotionally in this modern era? Are we becoming emotionally unavailable as a culture?
As far as emotionally unavailable, uh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because even though there may be an adequate percentage of awareness, we have to face facts here that the empathy and sympathy of a lot of things that regards to our community is definitely decreased. And based on things we see going on in our communities, you know, the young people, they are not being heavily schooled the way we were when we were their age years ago. So I say definitely.
Yeah. Angie says desensitized.
Yeah. All right. True. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to put this in there before we wrap it up, because I do have like one or two more to go to it and we'll close it up. So I want to ask this, right? Ladies and gentlemen on the panel, if you're able to kind of remember some of the things that you see on social media, right? What are one of the top things that women have been asking so-called love gurus advice about when it comes to men? What are one of the things that say it again, Beyonda?
Emotionally available.
Okay. So if that is a common complaint, then that means two things. That emotional unavailability could be the byproduct of what self-centered culture and unhealthy hyper individualism may be teaching. What do y'all think? If that's a complaint, if the complaint from the ladies are outside of heightened money, right, all that superficial stuff. But if women are, if one of women's top complaints is they're running into men, they're encountering men that are emotionally unavailable, let's assume they're telling the truth. But what does that say?
That society is becoming emotionally unavailable, or that men need to. I feel like that also goes to how men were brought up into society. You hear mostly women complaining about men being emotionally unavailable. Men are taught to hide their emotions and not show it. At least older generations. Even until modern day a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of older men that their dads never told them that they loved them. You know, they felt like they may have loved them, but you hear a lot of grandfathers say that, and then that was hard for them to even tell their wives or their kids. Well, I told you I loved you on the day I married you. If anything changed, I said I would tell you. Let you know, that kind of thing. But it's just hard for them to say those three words, I love you. And I think that has been perpetuated generation after generation. What do y'all think?
Some truth to that.
Go
How do
ahead,
we
Ray.
fix it? How do we fix it? What is a solution to changing the state of the younger generation? I don't know, because it's becoming an issue. It needs to be worked on or something. I don't know. It's like, what's the answer?
Jesus.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But in terms of my fault.
No. Absolutely. I wanted to hold our thought on a solution because I'm actually going to get to that. And then we can all give our solution, okay? Because we're going to wrap up the show.
I'll say something else.
Yeah, go ahead, Beyonda.
I was gonna say that I feel like, I know that a lot of men coming up, like I would say, are too emotional. Okay, they don't know how to regulate their emotions. Hence, why we're getting a lot of certain crimes out there, school shootings.
Oh yeah.
Like crime is a pretty good way to see like the emotional stability of men. You know what they're committing, what they're in for, what caused them to do the crime. Right? A lot of crimes of passion have been skyrocketing a lot lately. People have been doing things out of emotion. So I feel like a lot of men don't know how to regulate their emotions to where they have a balance. They're in balance, and whereas men of the older generation were all the way over here, where they were cut off emotionally. Now we have it to where like a lot of men are over here. They have too much emotion. They don't know how to regulate it, so they do things out of like anger or sadness. But there is no like middle ground. Like I have a pretty good balance, right? Sometimes I lean more towards like the stoic side, but like I still have a good balance of emotions. A lot of guys don't necessarily have that balance. You know, it's really hard to get that. You can't really teach it. It's more of a learned thing. You can't really like teach it. You have to like learn it through experience.
They're like children throwing temper tantrums, only they're like 40-year-old men or 50-year-old men or 30-year-old men or 20-year-old men. They're like it's like you took their toy away and they're going to punch you and scream at you and stuff like that. I think they got stuck at a certain age emotionally as a child or a toddler. It's even a toddler mentality emotionally or mental. I don't know. It's just I worked 10 years in protective order court, and I'm telling you what, some of the hearings that we had, I swear it was like 2, 3-year-olds like punching each other and holding a baby. You know, it's like these people are like, this is crazy. The fights, this stuff that they would fight over, and I don't know, it's ridiculous. I don't know, but I don't know.
Well, let me say this: the balance when you take the fathers out the home, it throws off the balance, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
we have a generation of men, and this is in all cultures, right? When you do your studies, this is in all cultures. It just has certain effects on others more than the others.
Right.
But in all cultures, we have seen less fathers in the home. So now these kids are growing up at a more in a matriarchy than a patriarchy as far as the home, right? And so what happens is the only person that they're able to see their emotional skill set from is their mother.
Right.
If they were raised by a hurt mother who didn't know how to handle her emotion, who lacked an emotional skill set, what do you think the son is going to pick up?
He's not going to like women because the way his mother was, and he's going to take it out on women. You know, because it's her that he's really angry with because maybe dad wasn't in the home because of her, or you know, he felt abandoned by her, or he felt not heard by her, he was ignored by her. I mean, because or and you know, sometimes the grandmother was a safe place and a place to land. Every now and then there was a teacher that made an impact on a child who, you know, didn't have a good home life. I don't know. Angie, what do you think?
I need to know the original question first.
I'll go back to it. So what I was saying was when you take the fathers out the home, then you throw off the balance. So if a son and daughter was being raised by a mother who lacked an emotional skill set, then how do you think it's gonna how do you think the kids are gonna turn out?
I agree with Meerkat. With a lot of the times, even in the dating realm, I've experienced it. A lot of the guys that I've dated were either both their parents were married or they were raised by their father. And what you see a lot of the times with the guys that are raised by their fathers, they do hold a certain disdain towards women. They don't know how to regulate their emotion when it comes to women, and they tend to move more childish with them, like mean, vicious, very selfish, and that all stems back to their mother. You could see it with men that are adopted too. And I also want to go for the side of women because I've had my father in my life, but he's very inconsistent. How does that turn out? You develop codependency, abandonment issues, where I can't relate to being like extra clingy, but for me, how I react with men because of my father, I'm scoping the scenery out. Like, I gotta scope the scenery if I feel, and it led to disrespect being one of my biggest deal breakers as well. Moment you talk crazy to me, you will never hear from me again. That'll be it. That'll be done.
Good for you.
So I feel like how it affected them emotionally will definitely dictate how they react towards the opposite sex when it comes to certain things or how they treat them. Because I do be mean to men sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. I do.
Well, at least you're honest.
So, Meerkat, you answered it. You answered the question more so on the side if a man was raised by his mother,
Right.
if she lacked an emotional skill set.
Right.
Because the only person that he was able to see, or the first person and the majority of the time, that's the person who he saw how they regulated their emotions. If he was raised by a woman who didn't know how to regulate her emotions, that is something that he's going to pick up on.
Right.
So you said that he may end up hating women because of how his mother may have treated him.
Right.
Or he may grow up hating men.
Right.
That's the thing that gets missed. There are a lot of young men who are raised by their mothers who do not respect the authority of a man.
Right.
You know how they usually get beat up over the head when they get in sports, and more than likely that coach is a man.
Right.
Or amongst their peers, they come across kids who may have had their dads or may not, but
And they
had a
fell.
balance somewhere. And then typically that's where the fight comes in between that pocket of boys and girls.
Or bully. They become bullies.
Right. Or they get bullied.
You get bullied or they're bullies. Yeah. But either
Right.
or. I mean,
Right.
it's the same difference almost.
Right. Ray, what you think?
Well, yeah, it really depends. I mean, personally, both my parents, thank God, still alive. First 9 years of my life, I grew up in a household with my mom and dad, and then when my sister was born, they split up. And having that semblance of a mom and dad in the household, it really helped define how I view women, how I view relationships. And because I was born in that togetherness, that influenced why I valued relationships, why I valued, marriage and stuff. So I think it can make a difference, especially if the emotional availability and the way to balance the emotions is in full effect. So has a lot to do with it.
Beyonda, you had anything?
No, I was going to ask you to repeat the question because I was in an argument.
It's okay.
With-
So I was asking about, I kept with the boys, but I didn't ask if the girls grew up this way, but I kept it with the boys because what I was saying was that, because you mentioned men sometimes being over emotional, right?
Yeah.
And that comes from something.
Yep.
So what I was saying, if a young boy was only raised by his mother,
Mm-hmm.
and the mother that he has lacked an emotional skill set, could that affect him? Because that is the first person, and most times the only person that he's seen how to regulate emotions.
Yeah.
And if she lacks an emotional skill set, that could go into the boy,
Yes.
i.e. the boy acting like his mother.
Yep.
What do you think?
I agree with that. That's true.
Yeah. And don't you think, and we're talking about a generation of that
Mm-hmm.
across all cultures.
Yep.
Right? It's affected maybe some more than others, ours, but we know that it's affected all cultures. So what happens is that generation is now grown, right? That's actually my generation. And some of us have kids. And if we didn't get repair,
Plug it into the thing.
if not, I'm not saying all of us are broken, but for the ones that are, if we didn't get that repair and we started having kids, guess what? That goes into the generation now.
Yeah. No, I agree. I you know what? I'll be honest. I'll say this. I'll say that there are some elements of my mother that I've taken, and it's sometimes hearing the truth, you know, but like in a way that like hits my soul. I guess sometimes hearing the truth is very uncomfortable. So a lot of times I will avoid a tough conversation, but because I'm a grown man, the majority of me wants to hear it because it will help me grow as a person, you know. So it is kind of like two wars fighting within me sometimes, you know. But a lot of guys are not modest enough to admit their flaws. That's why they're not emotionally available or intelligent.
True.
There it is. Your emotional intelligence is something that develops over time, but it has a foundation. And if your foundation was not solid, then that is how you could function. And that's why I said if young boys and girls haven't gotten the repair, right? If they haven't gotten the repair, then that same thing carries on to the next generation and to the next, which comes to your point, Meerkat.
Right.
When we're talking about today's people. It started from somewhere. Do you know that every generation blames the generation before them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, we do. That generation messed us up, and then that generation messed them up, and then that generation messed them up. It's a cycle.
Well, you know what I say? I say that we all contributed to this, all of us.
Yes. So at what point do we stop pointing the finger at the generation that raised us and start taking accountability for what we do?
Well, that, but also like there comes to a point where like we can point the finger at others all we want, but none of us are pointing to a solution. You know, that's the key. Like everyone wants to point to the problem, but never want to solve it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you what I believe, right? I believe this just like a doctor, right? We talk about the sickness, but we don't talk about the symptoms that brought on the sickness, right? Yeah. So yes, of course, a solution, but we definitely still need to know where it started. You know, everything that has, I'm gonna quote the Matrix, right? And the Matrix quoted the Bible, right? With this, the Oracle said in Matrix Reloaded, no, Matrix the third one. She said to Neo, everything that has a beginning has an end.
Right.
Right. So a lot of times we do a lot of, man, what's wrong with these people? What's wrong with this generation? Right. You generation, you guys are savages. Y'all have no decorum, no functions, no nothing. Okay. How did it start? Where'd it come from?
Right.
Right. So what we do is we make the baby and then we get mad at the baby,
right?
But we don't get mad at the baby maker.
Right.
You feel me? So let's get to it. And then we're going to wrap it up. What kind of society are we creating if everyone only focuses on themselves?
Well,
a messed up generation.
I do have
a private society.
Yeah, I do have it's a solution, but it's not good. It's more extreme. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not advocating for this. I don't want y'all to take my words out of context. Please don't do it.
Not you, Beyonder.
I am going to say that we as a society are absolutely cooked. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because we have people who genuinely walk around this planet Earth, and not just a small amount, a large amount of people that walk around who actually think that a man can become a woman. We're cooked. Now, the only way to solve this is we need another crazy event to happen for us to come together as people And the last time that happened, well, people died.
Right.
So it's going to require some cleansing. It's not good. I'm not saying that I want it to happen, but evidence shows that when these things happen, we come together as people.
It gets pushed in that direction. It's like they're demanding it. They're demanding. The demand is so great. They are demanding. I demand this and I demand that, and I don't want to hear what you have to say, but because if you don't sound like me, then you're irrelevant.
I don't know if you agree, Fifth. I'm just saying that we need something extreme to happen, because all the time for us talking it out is pretty much out the window now. No one wants to talk anymore.
It's
right? Your opinion is wrong. My opinion is wrong. Okay, if it's wrong, then let's go ahead and nothing is working. Guru podcast, nothing. It's not helping. It might help anecdotally, sure. People can have their communities and neighborhoods set fine, but as a whole, no one's getting the picture. So you kind of need to get a new picture, which means you got to throw the other one away.
Right.
So that's what I think.
Angie's laughing.
A little bit extreme. I know, Fifth. I know it's a little extreme, but I want results.
And at first I thought you was talking about the flood.
Well, that too.
But then I realized it was COVID.
Yeah.
What's going on right now?
Now it's hantavirus.
Yo, I'm not even in the mood right now.
I know.
I'm not even in the mood. I didn't even get a prom. I don't even want to hear it.
Oh, bless your heart. I'm so sorry.
I'm not saying a virus, because the COVID virus actually made us more like this.
Yeah.
More like actual extreme events.
It really accelerated the individualism.
Well, the way the economy is going, people are being forced to group up more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's happening right now, Beyonda. The thing is
tomorrow results.
No, I got you. The thing is, now the strife could come with that, because now you're with people you didn't want to live with to begin with. So, I mean, the quarantine, sadly, domestic violence went up and child abuse. Let me say that again, because people focus on the domestic violence first.
Well, can we say the S word? Suicide?
Oh, no. Self-deletion, we could say.
Okay, unaliving. Okay.
Right. But it brought on, everybody talks about men and women going upside each other's head, but it also brought on children getting their ears stomped together too during the quarantine. It really did. And I'm not pointing the finger, but I think we know who's with the kids more.
Yeah.
And their arrests went up during that time. Unfortunately.
Who, moms?
Yep. Yeah. If you ever look into those stats,
it didn't surprise anyone. Both genders are wicked, man. I hate how women did that. No way. Women are wicked. Women are.
No, the men drove her to that. Had she had more support, she probably wouldn't be going through that. What? I'm trying to sleep. And Ray and Pookie is jumping over my head. Listen, I know y'all saw my cat, and she right there.
Yeah,
she like to do that to me. Sometimes I gotta kick her ass out my room.
Get out. If I sell white, okay, and I say, hey, I didn't have any support from my family, I was a product of my environment. The cop in his little uniforms, you know what he's gonna say? You're going to jail.
No, he's not. I am giving up my parental rights. I'm tired of this. Here you go. Y'all take them. Y'all want to be pro-choice so bad. I mean, pro-life so bad.
Yeah.
Pro-life so bad. Come take my kids, because y'all need to be caring about my life too.
In child support court, there was more dads raising kids than the women.
I was about to say we got those stats, right? So there's that's another show. The reason why I brought that up is because there's a talking point that COVID had more men beating on their women, but they don't talk about the mothers who are beating on their kids.
Right.
So what I'm saying is both people got in trouble, okay? And it was because the mothers were not used to being around the mothers that send their kids to school while they work or whatever it is, or while they don't work, because there's a lot of mothers who don't work, right? While other mothers are working very hard, but you do got mothers who don't work at all, collecting whatever they're collecting, right? And the kids are home, and the kids are home more, and the mothers are like, I can't stand y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? The mothers are like, I can't stand y'all, you know? And so, sadly, you saw the numbers, the CPS, what's child services called? CPS?
OCS.
Those visits went skyrocketed during the time of COVID. You know what I'm saying? Those cases,
That's because
not
everybody
visitors,
is
but those
on
cases.
the internet broadcasting their BS. Like I think, I don't know who said it earlier, but privacy, let's go back to keeping some things off the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? Like sometimes people will call CPS over, oh, I didn't like the way she talked to that kid. Mind your goddamn business. But also, had that parent not been on TikTok Live, they wouldn't have had ACS called on them in the first place.
You're missing a big factor as to why privacy isn't really privacy anymore. You got to go back to 9/11.
Yeah, Patriot Act.
There wasn't any privacy. There was plenty of privacy. And then, they told us that. And then when that happened, they said, hey, we need to tap into your guys' phone so that we can see everything at all times. And we all agree because we just got bombed. And so now there is no privacy because of that. So
yeah, Patriot Act. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, let me.
There was some point years ago that smart TVs were a camera inside your home. So supposedly the government or whoever could come in and watch what was going on in your home. So they said if you had this was years ago, they said if you had a smart TV with a camera on it, you better put a piece of black tape over it. And it was the same during COVID when kids had laptops given to them from the school. These bad, not kind, perverted teachers or whoever could look in and watch the kids undress in their bedrooms and stuff like that. That happened a lot too.
Yeah. So, can we have both? Can we have both strong individuality and a strong community? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, Medea kind of proved that. I love her. She was good. I like Medea. She walked alone, but she walked together.
Right. So that Ray, what you think? Can we have both strong individuality and strong community? Is there a way to have both?
I mean, it's difficult, but it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
What you think, Beyonda? Can we have both strong individuality and strong community?
No, we have that now. Because we're seeing plenty of examples of individuality, but there's no community or no unity. So I would say no. The proof is in the pudding. You know, we already see like how it is with people. Like I'll use the Black community as an example. There's plenty of successful Black individuals, but there's no. The community as a whole is cooked.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. What happened?
You're speaking to the disenfranchisement portion of it, and because of the lack of, there's a couple things beyond it there, but that may be for a later episode. But there's a couple, there's a lot of factors. But yes, one common factor is a lack of community. When you have a lack of community, then the people in that community, they don't have to, but they can behold the things that are in that community. You know, not that you have to, but there will be individuals who will become the things that they behold in the environment that they grow up in the society that they grow up in.
Yeah, but to your question, I feel like it really only applies to the Black community, because when I'm thinking about other races and communities, they seem to be more together than Blacks are. You know, Hispanics are together for the most part, Asians, white. And you get to us, it's like, wow, there's really like a rift there. You know, there's no unity there or community.
Yeah. Meerkat, you had background noise. That's why I muted you.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It just feedbacks a bit. But so, this is the end of the show. So, because this leads into this. What does balance actually look like?
Equilibrium.
Okay. Can you expound on that? Because that's kind of vague for the audience. Just expound on what you mean by that.
So in chemistry, equilibrium is basically like an even exchange of energy. Or even with homeostasis, I believe that's when your body is regulating the temperature. There's that even exchange, like that kind of push and pull, negative and positive feedback as well. It's kind of hard because I can only explain it medically.
It makes sense to me.
Okay. But when it's like that, where there's that even exchange, I believe that balance is balancing, because it's like a, you know.
Yeah, so you're saying that it equal, like, to your fifth question, right? What does it look like? It's not too much of any one thing. It's just everything is just, everything resides in the gray area. We're not getting too much of this. We're not getting too much of that. We're getting a good. Think of it like cooking. You put too much of seasoning in something, it's going to be oversaturated with salt and sodium. It's not going to be good. But when you balance it out with the right stuff, it's a pretty good meal, pretty good steak, whatever, But when you put too many ingredients in, like, let's say I have a burger, right? I got a burger. I put cheese, tomatoes, relish, mayo, ketchup, mustard. That's too much stuff, I'm not gonna put all of that on one burger. I might put mayo on a burger and mayo and ketchup on the burger today, but then tomorrow I might do mayo and mustard. You never know. Yeah, you can, you balance it out. But you put too much on one thing, you're gonna get this taste. It's gonna be okay, but it's not gonna be good. So
It's not going to be satisfying. You're going to want more. If you ever had vertigo, you know it when your equilibrium is off. Your head spins. You turn your head a certain way, and it spins. And I think when you don't have community, it's kind of like that. You go a certain way, and it's just it's out of control. Can't function normally or whatever.
Yeah. Beyond you're right. You said that the balance is when everything doesn't just look like one thing. It's going to be a couple of things, right? So I definitely get what you're saying there, and there is something that I wanted to. Oh wait. Let me see. Angie's back. So we got everyone's answer for that question, right? Sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, let me get everyone's final thoughts, okay? Who wants to go first? Final thoughts on today's episode.
I'll go. Today's episode was very eye-opening. Gave me a lot to think about in regards to individualism and selfishness, and being out here in the dating realm. I am grateful to be up here again with everyone. I'm grateful to have people with differing opinions that give me more to think about. And yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Who's next?
Me. It has been good. Different generational views. Angie, I appreciate you and how you articulate your thoughts and how you view things. Um, we can agree to disagree, and same thing. If you do sign language, I have a granddaughter. She has Down syndrome and she's nonverbal, so she signs. And so this is the sign for I love you. So we always go like that. She's a boss on a horse. But I learned some new terms. I've never heard of a sim or the sim vet. I've never heard that before. Michael said he
Don't
was
worry
a sim. Michael said he was a sim card. If you don't have a SIM card in the phone, it's not going to work. I mean, that's what he said. Anyway, he was funny. He's
We're out of the game, so don't even worry about it.
Anyway, so I appreciate all the opinions, and we do need community. And at some point, I think Beyonda, you're right. Something's going to drastically happen, and it's going to, Jesus. Y'all are right. The world does need Jesus, and I think there's such a battle going on where there's really, really bad. There's really, really good if you look for it. Or you can be the good. That does help people. You can touch people one person at a time, and you don't know where that's going to lead because you don't know where they live, you don't know who they live, who they're around, and one thing can change a person. We may never know the degree, but I mean, I've had God given me something for someone, and I went and told her, and she just started crying, and she said, I knew you were going to say that, but it was something she had been begging God for, and he let her know through me. I didn't know the situation. She told me the situation, but she said, I asked God to forgive me, and I never knew if he did, and I mean, this was a number of years ago, and, I'm not no prophet or anything like that. I don't claim to be, but I know God sometimes will drop uh, a word of advice or wisdom in your spirit for someone. And it's the very thing they've been begging to hear. And I think we all can stand at the door before we go out and say, okay, let's get it on, devil. I'm ready, and be available, be a vessel to where you can reach people and bring about community. It's possible. But anyway, I appreciate everyone, and I love y'all, and I mean hugs and success, everything.
Love you too, man. Cat Beyonda, go ahead. It's your turn.
Final thoughts. Shit, it's Monday. It's
Yeah.
Monday, man. Monday nights. Got about a couple hours left. I'm going to bed. Gonna watch Avatar probably.
You gonna catch up on Monday Night Raw?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow. But man, you know how I feel about this podcast panel thing you got going on. It's really cool. To this talk and hash things out, positive, negative, whatever. Oh wow.
Bless you.
Thank you. Pretty good topic, and I can't lie, I was glad that it was, not primarily aimed at dating, but you pulled it in at the last minute. That was cool. I like that. That was really cool. I like when topics are not obviously about men or women, but then you can still find a way to bring it in, have an even bigger discussion. That's really that's smart. That's genius. So
yes,
you do more of that, you should be good, man. And I'm looking forward to that June
1st.
Looking forward to that. I don't know what the topic is. I want to know.
Faith versus feminism.
Well, you know
starring Jessica.
Well, guess what, Fifth? You know who I'm gonna be at?
I'm gonna have to tune in.
I'm gonna tune in too.
I gotta be there.
Yes, y'all are all invited. Y'all part of the cast. You're getting the invite. Trust me. Y'all are good.
I'm gonna be right here on this camera.
Does she
Yeah.
realize how impactful she is? Does she realize that? I guess she does, huh?
No, she. Yeah, I've talked to her off camera and on camera about her contribution to the platform, whether here or TikTok, because that's where I met her. So
She's a little spicy though. She's the little extra spice.
yeah.
I think my problem with, I do love Jess as a person. She's cool.
Yes, I do.
My problem is that, like, sometimes I be wanting to cook,
Yeah.
but like you have to like learn to tone it down because we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
When you're having a conversation, there's no cooking involved. When you're having a debate, you gotta do a little bit of cooking there. I don't really want to debate, but since it's versus VS,
yeah,
debate, you gotta cook, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm at 5th. Come on, man, I need help.
I'm going to be, so I have to do this, right? Because I want to make sure I have plenty of women on here. Because we want to do the balance right?
I'm Homelander. I need Soldier Boy.
so we're gonna definitely need the balance for that show. I may be just a moderator for that episode, so I might not have a lot of input. That's gonna hurt me because Jess knows how to push a button. You feel me with me?
So
this is why me and her have one-on-ones.
You're gonna be Professor Xavier. Not doing
yes, and I'm gonna let you be Magneto. All right.
I love that.
So
yes. Okay.
So my final thought is biblically inspired. So there's a reason why I picked this topic, because this topic is a broad umbrella, and so much of everything that we experience every day sits right under it, and this is why my questions were centered around you as the individual, relationships, family, professionalism, community, government, and where do we go, right? So I'm going to read Hebrews 10:23. And it reads, "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering. For he who promised is faithful. And let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works, and not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as in the manner of some, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching."
Wow,
and that's my final thought.
It's biblical for men to have to make coffee, huh? It's called Hebrews.
Hey, I love y'all. Everyone, hey, promote your let them know where they can reach you, promote your socials, all right? Go ahead, Angie, you can go first.
At Instagram, it's going to be _lovelyflowers24. If you want to find my TikTok, it's at Angie Monroe, ANGIMUNROE on TikTok.
All right, Meerkat, let them know where they can reach you if you want to,
I'm on TikTok, Meerkat, and I have an Instagram. It's just Miriam. And I was named out of the Bible, Miriam, Moses'
Yep,
sister.
absolutely.
Yeah, I hated my name forever because kids would make fun of it and stuff like that. But I think that's just part of being a Christian.
Yeah.
You don't get persecuted in a ugly sort of way sometimes. But anyway, past that. I'm just on Facebook, Miriam Gates on Facebook. So I'm just I don't do platforms or anything like that. I'm just a participant and I just check everybody out. And I've gotten into this and I really am enjoying it. But anyway, y'all have a good night.
Absolutely. Beyond, let them know where they can reach you, brother.
My TikTok and Twitch are the exact same. It's the Beyonder 285. But right now I'm very L7. I'm not doing anything right now. So right now Nothing going on, but eventually, hopefully, I have some content on. So,
Absolutely. Y'all can reach me at the Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Fifth General TV, TikTok, and YouTube. Just to remind everybody, next week is Memorial Day. I am taking that day off.
Okay.
There will be no show next Monday. Enjoy your family because I'm gonna enjoy mine.
Same.
Yeah.
Cook out, family, all that kind of stuff
Community.
at the house. So I'm gonna be busy that weekend. So everybody enjoy your Memorial weekend. There will be no Fifth at Night next Monday, and we will resume June 1st. I don't have a topic yet for tomorrow's TikTok, but I want to say something publicly for those who support the TikTok. I feel like I lost my Tuesday audience. So it's kind of like I'm debating whether I should even still stream on Tuesdays. But I haven't made that decision yet. But an idea has come across my way to go to Twitter on Tuesdays. I don't know.
Twitter might actually be it.
Yeah.
Is it X?
I used to be a part of the Tuesday
X.
Okay.
audience.
Yeah.
well,
So
Tuesday isn't like according to the algorithm. Tuesday isn't the best day to get the most engaging audience.
yeah.
Today, actually, I read that today. So like, when you do Thursdays, it's really good.
Yeah, Thursdays are more engaging. Yeah.
So
Yeah. But I know people be on Tuesday on other people's shows because I do see it. But you're right. Tuesday afternoons are a low engagement night. So it's kind of making me think I should pivot. But until then, I haven't made any changes yet. But until then, I'll still be sticking with that schedule until I see a difference. Okay.
I probably will be step in for a few minutes tomorrow. I got a down day tomorrow, so
yeah.
working steady for over a week or so, working hard, so I'm ready for a day off.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Absolutely. I'm I'm trying to see how it's gonna work out. But I'm still kind of like studying Tuesday because I remember when I first started the streams, my Tuesdays and Thursdays were the same.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when Mr. Yard was with me, our Tuesdays was packed too. You know, I mean, we have all boxes filled. You know, so I don't know. We'll see. But you know, if any changes comes up, I'll make an announcement as far as what I'm doing on Tuesday. But yeah, Thursdays are a better TikTok day. But I do a lot of content creation between this, the TikTok lives, me and Zacchaeus's podcasts, my street interviews, which I have I have footage coming up pretty soon for that. So, it's just a lot going on every day and then still having a day job. So
Busy.
Yeah,
It'll all pay off.
Yeah, busy on purpose. The grind is on me, and I've been podcasting since 2017. I've done internet radio since 2008, and so, but I've only done it once a week. So I've done it, but I've done less content throughout my years. But now I'm doing more content because I'm doing more days. So there's that thing, But you know what? Things are coming. I'm trusting God. I'm trusting the process. So
Right.
it's all good. I'm just thankful that I met y'all.
Yeah, same.
Because my agenda is a real agenda. It is. My agenda was to come on TikTok and build a TikTok community of some good people. Because I still believe there's some good people out there.
There are.
All right.
For sure.
So even when I don't want to be on there, I be on there. Because I believe it's going to help someone.
I agree.
I would
I
say
do.
personally, it's helped me. Right? There are certain topics that I've come up with, and when I've gotten other people's perspective, it has helped me. So whether people acknowledge it or realize it or not, even I'm growing. You know?
God knows how to uniquely touch us and change us and to grow us into the men and women He wants us to be. He knows we can be. So you have to just be flexible and be okay with it, the process. And if you just walk through your daily life knowing and believing that God is going to get you where He wants you to be, you will start looking at any situation like, oh, I was going somewhere and I got lost. Well, maybe the reason you got lost is God was protecting you from something, or anything like that. I worked for this man. I used to live in Tennessee, and I worked for. He was a broker, insurance broker. So we would, run quotes for groups and that sort of thing. Well, I came to Louisiana for Christmas break or whatever. Well, it rarely snows in Louisiana. Let me tell you, it rarely snows. But for some reason that year, it snowed and I couldn't get back to work like I wanted to be. And I felt bad because I have a really strong work ethic. So when I got back, he was so sweet and gracious. He said, Miriam, God probably was protecting you from a wreck on the road or something. You just don't know. You just have to be okay with, when your day gets disrupted for something, And so, I mean, I could tell you story after story like that. But anyway, just be good with what God is doing, and I'll expect the unexpected. That was a term that I heard too. Expect the unexpected when you're following God, when God's leading you. So always have that in the back of your mind when something doesn't work out and you didn't get what you really thought it was going to happen for you, a situation or whatever. Always go back. God, what are you trying to teach me? What do you want me to learn? Because I learned that the hard way. I learned that piece of advice the hard way. Um, Always know that God is teaching you something, and you won't know till after the fact sometimes. And then you go back and you say, oh my goodness, that's what you were trying to show me. And I was being stubborn and hard-headed, but God knows we're stubborn. God knows we're hard-headed. God knows. God knows. There's nothing that catches Him by surprise. So, like you say, trust the process. The process.
Absolutely. All right. So every Monday, 5th at night, Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7. You got something, Beyonder?
No, saying bye.
Okay. Yeah. Every Monday, 5th at night, live, Mondays on YouTube. 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 Central. All right. Thank y'all. I love all y'all. The show is not a show without y'all. I love all y'all. All right.
What's your cat's name, Angie?
Rose, let me show you her.
I saw her a while ago. Beyonder, what's your dog's name?
Harley.
Harley. Oh, I had a Harley a long time ago.
Baby.
He was a German Shepherd. Oh, how cute.
Say hi, Mama.
Hi. Oh, she's pretty.
Thank you. This is my baby.
Oh, she's big.
Look,
Yes,
picking
she's
up.
a year old now.
Oh my gosh.
He got
Huge.
He's heavy.
Oh, I see.
I believe
Oh,
it.
hey, Harley. Hey, Harley.
Nah, he mad chill too.
Oh, y'all got a lot of love.
Yes. She's sick of me though.
All
We
right,
know pets will develop your personality like their owners. So sometime when your pet's acting up, might be
She act just like me.
they're like you, yeah.
Just like me. I think we look alike too.
I think people act like they're pets too.
I think so.
I
too.
sure do.
They train you. All right,
That's
y'all.
what's
Good
up.
night.
Audience, shout outs to the audience, y'all. I'm gonna end the stream. All right, y'all. See y'all June 1st.
June 1st.